Good evening, everyone. Welcome along to another esports studio with me, Ben Constanduros. Now, you may know that VCO is based in Germany, in the south of Germany. And recently, Germany has been hit massively, as well as the countries surrounding it, by huge amounts of weather. And so, thanks to Marla and to VCO, they have decided to do a race against the flood, which is going to happen this Wednesday, and has already got plenty of backing and partners and help. And one of the key members and one of the key men behind this is somebody who has been affected by the floods, and it's all very close to home. Marc Hennerici joins us now. Marc, firstly, how are you getting on?
Well, we all many thanks for the invitation to that interview and to that call and communication. I have to say that all of my family members are okay. We have only damages at the house, and but nothing compared to the situation some kilometers away from us at the River Ahr, which is going through Adenau, a place which is known by the Nürburgring and all the other places around. And so we have been lucky. It's only money, it's only damages, but nothing compared if you miss a family member or something like this. And so I'm really thankful to VCO and Florian and to you to have the possibility to speak to the people that help is really required and really appreciated.
Yeah, so many of these natural disasters happen so far away from home that they don't tend to touch us too much. But us in the sim racing world, we absolutely love the Nürburgring, and we are perhaps not necessarily familiar with its location in the real world, unless, of course, we've come to one of your events, the Sim Racing Expo, which I saw by your title there. You were the founder of a few years ago. So, yeah, it's kind of the home of sim racing, really, the Nürburgring. And to know that it's been so badly affected suddenly strikes a chord.
Yeah, that's the case, and we're planning to have the Sim Racing Expo in 2 months, and I hope that most of the damages are gone in 2 months, but it will not be the reality. So it's a lot of work to do right now. And to be honest, yesterday I came home and I started sim racing myself 6 months ago and leading an iRacing official series. And I was just thinking for a minute, okay, going to the simulators and drive my weekly series. And I'm so motivated the last few weeks, but no motivation to step in the simulator. So it stands there since 1 week. When you think your help is required some kilometers away, there's no motivation to get into the simulator and defend the lead in the IMSA Division 2 at the moment. But I hope to see all of you guys in 2 months by personal and to speak about the situation and to have our friends from the region also there and maybe to drink a beer, and the situation is more relaxed than it is right now.
You've been out there and helping some of your surrounding villages, and it seems from the photos that I've certainly seen personally that the Nürburgring has become a bit of a hub and rescue center. Is that correct?
That's correct, yeah. This week, Sim Racing Expo is one of our events and the GT World Challenge as well. But the main event from the ADC Middle Rhine, the company where I belong to, is the ADC Truck Company, which is one of the 8 this year of the 7 events of the FIA European Truck Racing Championship. And this should be last weekend, and we've been all there on a Thursday morning with the race control members, and all the teams get there. And then it was pretty clear that we can't have a racing event next to things like this, and we canceled this on Thursday noon. But in racing organizations, there are very often people from the army, and I have to say personal that in the past, also with the colleagues, we are sometimes smiling about them and, well, the army guys. But in that situation, you see what they've learned from the basic. They really in their head they know what to do in those situations, and so we've been there with 30 peoples, and directly we said, okay, we're gonna help, and those guys are so great that they know what to do. And so we started all those donation with not with money but with how do you say in English, um, with stuff, and yeah, that started on Thursday morning, and it became too big, too big to manage within Friday, and so we said, hey, we need to stop this, because now the whole Nürburgring is is full of hygienic things, and many clothes, but too much. And yeah, that's the situation right now. But many people get there and help to sort out what is important right now. Um, yeah, it was crazy 4 days. I expected another track Grand Prix. Last year we canceled the event due to Corona. This year, with all the work, we had to cancel it again. But I'm really happy that all those motorsport guys and also women, which been there, directly said, okay, we're gonna help here and right at the place. And yeah, so it's a positive thing and negative things at the same time, like it's always in as a human being, both things at the same time. But many colleagues from the Nürburgring guys, Nürburgring TV, these guys, they have yeah, they have family members who are still missed, so it's a really tense situation.
Yeah, the human cost is growing every single day, and many villages, complete villages, totally disappeared because of the flooding. And
Yeah,
that is why, whilst you had too many clothes initially, all of those things that have been donated will be so vital in the coming days and weeks. And this is why we're asking you guys tonight and across the week, and of course on our race on Wednesday, to please donate anything you can. You can follow the links around my head and below me. And really, it's bizarre to say, but Germany needs us right now, and there's damage mainly around the area of the Nürburgring, but there's even damage down south as well, because the weather front just went
yeah,
across the whole of the country. Actually started in the UK and was pretty bad there, but nothing quite as horrific as what happened around the Nürburgring, Spa, Belgium, a little bit of
yeah.
Germany, a little bit of the Netherlands as well. So that's why we're asking you guys to donate. So what's the plan for the race against the flood, Mark?
Well, the plan is to get the most teams and the best drivers on there, and to have a good show, and to say, hey guys, this is esport, this is the esport community. We stand together, and if you can donate something, we are quite happy. It's appreciated a lot, and even if it's 10 euros, 50 euros, whatever, we are really thankful for your help from all of the world, because those guys out there, they really need it. And to see that the esport and sim racing community stands together. They love the Nürburgring all over the world, and yeah, we are just thankful for all the help from all the world, and we see that humanity in these times, it's it's a huge thing. It's really a huge thing. All the society in this century looks everything, all the love looks to get down, but in such a situation, it gets, sorry, that's bad English, looks to get less. But in this situation, you see that there's still humanity, and the community is really great. And yeah, it's emotional, but I'm really thankful for this, for Florian, for you guys, and to do some motorsport, to do some esport, maybe the best thing to get away and to get over this. And we know that VCO can get the best drivers, the most beautiful drive, not beautiful, but maybe the most beautiful. I don't know, but
Some of them are
for
good
sure the
looking.
fastest drivers, and but for sure the best drivers and esport drivers in the world for such a good thing. And yeah, that's the thing, because yeah, it's really heavy. Can tell you.
Yeah, And for you, Mark, it's home. It's a place where you've grown up. It's a place where you've won races at the Nürburgring, and around here is home. Villages you drive through every day, and so you're experiencing a whole new reality. And what will the money that's donated go towards? Where is it most needed at the moment?
Well, the families around there who lost everything, who lost maybe the mother, a child, or whatever. And there's no bridge. The whole there's no bridge standing. It's everything is gone. It's the whole valley is not existing anymore. Everything is gone. There was a normal height of the river is 80 centimeter, and within 2 or 3 hours it goes to 8 meters. And it's not the time to talk. It's not the time to talk about political things or about climate change. But maybe yes, I can tell I'm not a politician, but we need to change our mind, and we see that those things and those events happens more and more and more and more. And I think esport and sim racing is an important thing. I'm motorsport. I did motorsport by myself for 30 years, and I love to drive a car, a real car, through the Nürburgring and through the on real racetracks. But the signal to which we can send from digital motorsport to
Mm.
say, hey, we need innovation, we need new technologies, we need all those things, without saying that real motorsport is bad. It's not bad, it's a good thing. But we need a new mind, and this is pretty clear.
Yeah, Mark, you've got championships and 24-hour wins in your real world career, but you're actually at the very forefront pushing sim racing uh, through the ADAC, the governing body of motorsport in Germany, and across the world. Where did that passion originate from?
Well, it started very early. When I was 7 years or 8 years, I bought a computer, and the first game which I bought was Grand Prix One from Microprose, and it started. Everything started. I started karting with 6 years, so 2 years before. But when I got this first computer, an Amiga 500, which I had to upgrade for a lot of money to get 1 megabyte a RAM. I was since 1991, 1990, I was sim racer, and I was lying in my bed as a little child, and I always was dreaming of how cool it would be if you could drive against somebody else instead of the computer. And it was like many nights with the imagination to be able to drive against somebody else on the computer. And now we have everything. And I had many luck in my racing career. I met many important people at the right point at the right time, and so it went on and went on, and everything went well. I'm really happy with my career. But I saw so many racing drivers which were as good as I was, and many really fast, but had never a chance to get up. And with sim racing, I have to say two things. First of all, I get 80% of the excitement for 0% of the cost. It's not even 1% of the cost. It's 0.0 anything of the cost, but it's 80% of the real excitement. And on the other hand, we see guys like Tim Heinemann in Germany, like Laurenz Heinrich, like Sami Matti-Drogen, who would maybe never appear in real motorsport without sim racing. And so I'm really, really happy that we have the esport and sim racing, that it's not all about money. That's the only thing which I criticize in sim racing is the time capacity you have to push,
Yeah.
you have to invest. That's the only negative thing. But everything else, people say, "Hey, as a real driver, you would never drive like this because you have to fear your life." To be honest, I never had to fear. I never had any fear of my life in a racing car. Never, as I don't have in the simulator. So that's not an argument. Well, it's an
Yeah.
argument that if you have a crash, you come back to the pits and you have the cost and you have the mechanics. That's something different. but in the end, it's 80% of the real excitement. And now, since I started again with 39 years to get back into sim racing, I even enjoy it more than I ever did. The technique get better. I have a really nice base. I have the VRS base. I have invested like 7,000 euro, but I have invested one time, and now everything is there. And I go into my room. I feel like a racing driver as I did 7 or 8 years ago. I drive against those guys, and I love sim racing really more than I ever did since I started itself since 6 months. Before, I only worked in the community, in the business for
Yeah.
13 years, and I lost the passion. And now, since I started myself, I get all the passion back and even more motivated to work in the business.
How have you found time to commit yourself to doing a championship, having so many responsibilities? I mean, you are a race director in the VCO Pro Sim Series. That took up enough time. And you've got roles in ADAC, you've got roles at Sim Racing Expo, and promoting other events as well. I don't know how you'd find the time for it.
Well, maybe Corona. Maybe it was Corona. I'm not sure. Last year the ADC is one of the shareholders of the Nürburgring Esport Lounge, and we lost the CEO. And then we said we were sitting around a table, and somebody say, "Okay, who's going to be the next CEO?" And maybe I was not fast enough to say it's not me. And then suddenly I was in this role of being CEO, and I said, "Okay, we'll do it for 4 months." In the end, it was 8 months until mid of March, and so I was many times during the winter in the lounge, in the Nürburgring Esport Lounge. And so, okay, let's get in the simulator, let's get back to it,
Yeah.
let's try iRacing, and then one step after the other. I think it was the 6th of January that I got the simulator here in my house, and since that time, I spent many time there, but I don't regret. It's wonderful. And yeah, I love the Dallara LMP2. And at the beginning, it was like 4 seconds away from the top guys. Now it's less than 1 second, and I'm really proud of it and really happy about it.
Nice. And of course, presumably all that experience, like I say, as a commentator, when I go and do a real world race, it helps me understand how it all works. And having a simulator beside me here helps me understand what happens to the drivers that I'm commentating on week in, week out. Is it the same for you as a race director? You can put yourself in positions because you've actually done it in your sim yourself?
Yeah, for sure. And in my opinion, every racing commentary should do at least 50 laps of the track of the race you will commentate next weekend, because you have a totally different view on it. If you did this,
Yeah.
if you did the same on the simulator, maybe in a race against other cars, you are levels about it to be a good commentator. So I totally can understand what you say, Ben. Um, I would say to not say sorry for my bad English sometimes. I would tell everybody commentary to take you as an example, to do it himself also. And I, I lost the second part of the question.
Does
As a
it
race
does it
director, yeah,
help you as
it
a race
was
director? Yeah.
yeah. And as being racing driver, it helps a lot to judge the things. But even if I'm a racing driver for 33 years, and sometimes I have Jan Seifert on my side, who is also a racing driver for many years. But from time to time, we look on one scene, and we have totally different views on it. So it's not only about being racing driver or you did it. We see the situation yesterday with Lewis and Max, and I think you
I
can
wasn't going to
have
bring it up.
different you can have different views on it. I am totally Max Verstappen fan, so I'm not objective enough to judge the situation. But I'm sure he will strike back. And let's see what the judges and the stewards say then in this situation. But yeah, it helps. It helps a lot.
So Race Against the Flood this Wednesday. Please donate. Please get involved. If you want to drive, get to the VCO info page and you can subscribe. What are the other massive projects that you've got going on at the moment in the sim racing world?
Well, the Sim Racing Expo is one thing, even if this year it will be organized by Covana. We will have the GT500, one of the main competitions on the Sim Racing Expo. And during the Corona time, we switched a little bit our strategy. We are more service provider now than doing own things. But things are changing. Hopefully Corona will find an end. We will see in UK if the strategy works. I hope for it. I like the strategy in England, to be honest. And then we have to see where sim racing is moving, if still that much money is in the business or not. And so we have to be careful about investments. But yeah, at the moment we're waiting a little bit. What's happening in the market? But we have everything. We have the technique. We have the possibility to bring on real world stewards, real world racing directors. And so looking forward for the next winter season and to cooperate with VCO, with all those other guys like DNLS. DNLS will be in the third season, which have been really successful. And yeah, the next big event will be GT World Challenge at the first weekend of September at the Nürburgring, the SRO series. And we are the organizers. We're not the organizers of the VCO Esports series, but for sure I will have a close look onto it and maybe we can learn something. And yeah, that's the thing. That's the situation.
Yeah, I'll look forward to sharing a beer with you at the start of September and coming over for that as the on-site host, as well as the TCR commentator as well. So a little bit of real world racing, a little bit of sim racing. Yeah,
it's one world. It's one world. We shouldn't split it. It's one world. We see it. Yesterday I saw the statistics of Lando Norris. How much races he did in iRacing? What's going on? Is he? What's going on? I think it's 1,300 races. Unbelievable, unbelievable. And you see the top guys of Formula One of every series. Now they're coming all from esport and from sim racing, and so it's one world for me.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's the idea of the VCO Esports.
Sorry, Ben. One world. That's what we are talking right now, because it's one world, is one community, and to get the help from you guys and ladies is really appreciated. And in the Eifel, the people are simple, but we are really thankful, and we will not forget your support.
Absolutely. Every time we've ever had a chance to visit the Nürburgring, whether it be the Sim Racing Expo or for other events, it's just the most amazing place. The people are lovely, the place is lovely, and the villages surrounding are lovely as well. So we want to get them back up to speed as soon as possible, and please do whatever you can, whether it be participating, volunteering, or indeed just donating across the next couple of days. And make sure you tune in on Wednesday for the Race Against the Flood. As you can tell, Mark and I and the VCO guys all share the same common goal when it comes to sim racing and the real world of motorsport. We all have the same ambitions, and it's actually a bit of a travesty that we haven't spoken to Mark in 50 episodes, but and sad that it comes on such a weekend. But I am really happy to speak with you, Mark, get your thoughts on everything, it's great to hear that you're putting in so much effort for your fellow man around there in the Eifel Mountains.
Many thanks, Ben. Many thanks for the chance to speak with you, and really looking forward to meet you personally again, as we did 2 years ago before Corona, and hopefully getting back to a normal world quite fast. Thank you.
Thank you very much for tuning in. Make sure you do tune in on Wednesday. Donate. Make sure you put some money in the pot. And we'll be here next Monday, every time, 8 o'clock, with a new guest. Who knows who knows what we'll be talking about. It really does change every single week. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you for your sincerity. And I wish you a good week sim racing. Bye-bye.